Namaste, everybody. Thank you for being here. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about Thanksgiving, but before we do, I just wanted to really stop and say thank you to you guys for you to sit here and give precious time, precious energy to having a conversation with me is so meaningful, and it deeply, deeply fills my heart that you're ready to spend some time with me and learn and grow together. So thank you for being here. Now let's get into it. So before I dive too deeply into what I want to share with you today around how to make Thanksgiving more meaningful and more joyful, I want to first just tell you that I'm doing an event right after Thanksgiving, the week after, which is a much deeper dive into how to create more meaningful holidays, really how to reclaim holidays from the stress and the guilt and the obligation and turn them into experiences of meaning, joy, relaxation, celebration, and really live true to and create rituals for yourself and for your loved ones that are going to make your holiday incredibly meaningful. So it's a free event, and if you want to participate, just make sure to drop an emoji in the comments below so you can put a heart or whatever else, and I'll make sure that I send you those details. So we're going to be doing it the week after Thanksgiving, so fresh off of all of the Thanksgiving drama, we'll be doing that little mini holiday together online where we talk about how to really make a deeply meaningful holiday season. But I wanted to just start by giving you some little tips today, a little practice that I do that I started doing a few years ago that really changed the way that I experience holidays. So, you know, I used to live abroad and for many, many years. And so when I would come home for Thanksgiving, I would feel so much pressure around having it be a certain kind of holiday, right? Having it be a certain kind of experience, or having it be a certain kind of connection that I was creating with my family. And I had really, really high expectations for what it was supposed to do and what it was supposed to be and how I was supposed to feel, and you know how other people should or should not behave, and all of those things. And of course I would have my own agenda, and then everybody else in my family would have their agenda or ideas, and everyone's in different phases of their lives, right? My older sister has kids, my younger brother, you know, loves to party a lot more. I'm much more deeply kind of spiritual, and you know, my parents you know, are divorced and they have different, so there's lots, you know, going on that could complicate the holidays in terms of people's kind of different energy and agenda and all that kind of stuff. But here's what I started doing. I used to go kind of into Thanksgiving a little bit blindly. I just kind of like show up and, you know, make sure I had the bottle of wine and my outfit was ready and I looked good for the pictures and, you know, whatever else. But I started to kind of realize that that wasn't doing it, that I would find myself kind of getting there in stress and then not really having that Hallmark moment that we also desire and crave on the holidays. And so I started to take about a week before Thanksgiving. So this is your time. It's about a week before Thanksgiving, a few days before. I would just sit down and I would journal. And here's the question that I would ask myself. You know, I would simply, this is basically some intention setting, but I would basically say, what word do I want to be able to use to summarize this holiday? So I would drop in and really be like, if I walked out of Thanksgiving Day and I felt blank, or I experienced blank, then I would have a really, really meaningful, really fulfilling, I would have known that it was a good holiday. And so that word has been different from year to year. But think about that for yourself for a minute. If you know, close your eyes and just set an intention for, if I walked away from Thanksgiving feeling blank or having experienced blank, I knew it was an amazing Thanksgiving. What is that word for you? Again, we're all at different phases of our life, and so there's no right or wrong answer here. Now, because it's Thanksgiving, hopefully, maybe the word gratitude might come up for you, or thanks. But maybe not. Maybe you're in a really stressful time of your life and you just need relaxation. Or maybe you are, you know, really struggling financially right now, and you want to feel abundant in some way, and that's the feeling you want to walk away with, energized and more abundant. Or maybe you're feeling really lonely and you want to walk away feeling deeply connected to the people that you celebrate with. Whatever it is, you want to sit down and Google, just, you know, and Google. And don't Google it. Please Google inside your soul and ask your soul. So do not Google it. Write it down and journal it, and just really allow to come out. You know, what is the one word that I want to summarize all of Thanksgiving? And then what I want you to do is to feel into that word a little bit. So I'm gonna use the word laughter. Okay. And so as an example, so if I feel into the word laughter just in my body, what does that feel like? It feels like joy. It feels like lightness. It feels like movement. Joy feels like smiling. Joy feels like openness and expansion, right? So that's what for me, laughter feels like. That's the word laughter. That's what it feels like in my body. And then when I think through it a little bit more, I say, okay, well, what color would I give to that feeling that I want? What is the color of laughter? For me, the color of laughter is like a hot orange. I don't know why. And then I say, what smells would I associate with that one word that I'm trying to target, laughter, for me, right? And it's like, okay, what's the smell of laughter? I don't know why, but I get this like citrus smell that comes to mind. I'm not really sure why. My body is very intelligent though, and it probably has many stored memories, or at least some, where citrus has brought joy and laughter to my life. Actually, now that I think about it, the only essential oil that has actually been proven to really help with depression, or the only ones that have really been proven, are the citrus ones, are orange and lemon essential oils. So I think I'm onto something here. But there you go. And I would really move through the five senses. What's the taste of laughter? You know, I would move through and be like, okay, if that was an embodied experience for me, what would it be like? You know, and I would really move into that laughter. And then that's the second part. So first part is you set the word. The second part is you feel into it. You start to get a sense of what this feels like, right? And that way you're kind of setting a vibrational landmark for what you want to land into on your Thanksgiving, right? So for me, if it's all like laughter and joy, I already know on a physical level, forget like just the word itself. On a physical level, I know how I want to feel. I know how I want to be moving. I know what kind of smells and senses and tastes and things to set myself up to experience that. And then I want you to journal on how to bring that quality towards yourself. So one of the things that happens when we think about the holidays is we think about pleasing everybody else in our lives, right? We think about the obligations that we have to our family and to our friends and, you know, to all of the holiday parties and all this kind of stuff. And we immediately go there. And it is important to love other people well. And we'll talk about that next. But you cannot love other people well or serve other people well if you're always focused on them and you're not focused at all on yourself. You have to first really be in your own energy and your own strength and be giving unto yourself, and then you can let that spill out into other people. So when I think about Thanksgiving again, I ask, how can I, remember my word is laughter, how can I serve myself with laughter on Thanksgiving? And so what does that bring to mind for me? And so I start just writing down ideas. And when I think about how can I serve myself with laughter on Thanksgiving, I first think about, you know, like just before I meet anybody or go anywhere, just like in the morning, waking up and starting my day with laughter. There's a really cool movement called laughter yoga that I love to do, and you should check it out if you've never experienced it. It'll change your life. So maybe I'll do some laughter yoga. Or maybe I will just watch a video that always makes me laugh a bunch. Or maybe, I'll give a call to a friend who's just kind of sarcastic and always has something funny to say, and I'll really set that tone for my day. And then if I think about moving through the day, I'm like, okay, well, what kind of things are going to make me laugh? And I think about, well, it'll make me laugh. Like, it certainly makes me laugh when I watch like childhood videos, certain childhood videos of me and my siblings and things like that. So maybe I can bring them to the holiday. That brings up a certain amount of laughter. Games, certain kind of games. Maybe I can bring those to the holiday and ask people to play with me, right? Because games can bring up a lot of silliness and laughter, especially certain kinds of games. Dance can bring up a lot of laughter, especially if you're around people who are either just goofy dancers intentionally, or are not particularly good dancers and are willing to own that, right? So that can bring in laughter. And I would keep thinking, and I really bring about how am I going to serve myself? And even, especially again, because I'm working on the word of laughter, one thing I would do is write down, what are the kind of jokes that I can tell myself if I do start to feel a little triggered or stressed or guilty or obliged or overwhelmed or whatever, right? Like, what kind of jokes can I tell myself about that? How can I laugh to myself about it? Can I be making fun of myself, making fun of other people, right? Like, not in like cruel ways, but just in joyful ways. And I'd really, really get that list down. So I have laughter as, like I said, the landmark of the day, because that's the word and the intention that I've set for the day. And I keep coming back to that every single time. So whenever I feel a weird interaction with a person, or whenever I feel exhausted, or whenever I feel overwhelmed, I just ask myself, how can I serve laughter in this moment? What would serve laughter in this moment? And I just really make the holiday about service to laughter, right? And really bringing that into my energy and letting that categorize and define how I show up on Thanksgiving. And so once you've kind of done some work around what it means to serve yourself with that quality, then you want to think about how can I serve others through this quality. So again, if I'm focusing on laughter, I think about, well, who in my family could benefit from some serious laughter, and what could I do to bring that to them? What are things that make them laugh? How can I be intentional about facilitating that? Right? And again, just making lists, just really being intentional so you have concrete ideas in order to show up with, right? Similarly, then you can take it to the next level. So you've done it for yourself, you've done it for your family or whoever you're celebrating Thanksgiving with. And then you want to extend it one level out and say, okay, for my community. And whoever your community is who your community is, right? Maybe it's just a larger extended family. Maybe it's your school. Maybe it's where you work. Maybe it's your neighborhood. Maybe it's the world in general. Maybe it's a cause that you care about. That doesn't matter. You again come back to, what is the one quality? Like, how can I bring that one quality into service to others? So my quality is laughter. So thinking, how can I bring laughter to other people on Thanksgiving? Well, that's really, I can write down, 30 corny jokes and, go and volunteer somewhere, or just stand on a street corner and be sharing jokes with people, or just like screaming them out on the sidewalk, and whatever it is, right? But being intentional about cultivating the quality that I want on that holiday. Right? And so again, you can do this whether your word is gratitude, whether your word is connection, celebration, love, relaxation, laughter, honor, praise, whatever it is, you can bring that word in. And so you start, like I said, on a very physical, embodied level. Then you ask, how can you bring that quality in service to yourself? What can you do for yourself or allow for yourself? And then you go out layer by layer to other people. And that's it. That's the practice. It's basically just intention setting, but really focusing on a certain particular quality that you want to cultivate. Now, a lot of times I get this rejection. Well, I'm going to want to connect. I'm going to want to create this specific quality, but my family is going to want to create this. And so, or they're going to do this, or they're going to make all this drama, and I'm not going to be able to feel that way. And this is where I want to challenge you on that, because you are not a victim. You are the owner of your life, and the version of you who lives on the inside is more powerful than the version of you that lives on the outside. Here's what I mean by that. I mean, there's the version of you that lives out in the world, that's reacting and responding and letting things affect you. And then there's the inside, where I call it, like, your deep heart center, where you can access love and compassion and joy, and you can intentionally think different kinds of thoughts, and you can intentionally feel in different kinds of ways. And so you can really access this other part of you. And what I want to say to you is, this is your soul. This is your spirit. So this is divinely powered. So of course it's stronger than just the body on the outside, right? That's just reacting and responding to everyone. So I want to encourage you to say, greater is the version of me, or the one within, living inside, than the one on the outside. And she's the one, or he's the one, holding that quality for me. So if I go and I have this grand intention of bringing laughter to everybody's life, right, and laughter to myself, and then I get there and, I get to the holiday, and let's say two people are fighting, over something. Let's say two people are fighting. Well, the first thing that I would do is, rather than get involved in their drama or roll my eyes and say they've ruined my holiday, they've ruined my intention, I would come back inside and I would say, I am powerful enough to cultivate laughter inside no matter what's happening outside of me. So remember, I made that list of jokes for myself. Or remember, I chose to watch that video this morning to get me in a certain mood. I'm coming back to that place, right? I'm going back to that place. And then, maybe when things cool down between the two other people, you can pull one aside and say, I don't know how to solve your fight, but I did want to share this joke with you. I did want to share a little bit of laughter with you. Or whatever it is, but it's not about other people being able to ruin or create your holiday. It's about you honoring the light inside and the strength inside that can keep in alignment with the commitment and the intention that you set for yourself. So I hope that this was helpful, and I know that I do this, and many, many, many of my teachers do this, many of my most mindful friends, and definitely my most hurtful friends, heartful friends. We all do this. And so I really want to encourage you to take this approach to your Thanksgiving. Let me know how it goes and what it changes inside of your own experience and your experience interacting with other people. It can be pretty radical to recognize how powerful just setting an intention and living true to that from the inside out can be. So I wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. Thank you again for being here with me. And again, I'm doing a deeper dive on really creating a meaningful holiday season after Thanksgiving, before Christmas. So if you want to get in on that, make sure to comment with an emoji below and I will send you those details. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste.